Hello everyone, Basic Ollie here, hope you're all doing well and welcome back to yet another GT Sport video. Today I have for you round 10 of the Nations Cup around the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. Now, bit of a strange one this one. In this race you can only choose between 5 cars. So you've got the 4 cars here, the AMG, the R8, the 911 and the Beetle. But you can also choose the M6 for this one, but I have decided to go in the Porsche. Maybe not the quickest car over a lap, but in a race the Porsche is an absolute monster. So this is the lobby we're in then. 329 points on offer for the person that finishes in first place. Over 300 points if you do get in the podium position. So that looks a bit tasty for me. I will be setting my eyes on a podium position if I can. So let's jump ourselves into qualifying and see what we can do in the Porsche, shall we? So here we go then, qualifying. I've decided to get myself behind someone for the slipstream because this car certainly lacks when it comes to top end or the higher end, so it seems to bog down really when you get into about 4th or 5th gear. You really start to see the difference compared to the other cars in this. The Beetle was by far the favourite car to choose for this event. It is much quicker in qualifying, but I just had a feeling if we used it in the race, maybe we'll just have an advantage with that tyre wear. So we get the first corner over with then, going through the Yokohama S is I believe we're going to go through now. But yeah, not so far so good, managing to keep with the Beetle. The Frenchman in front of me goes a little bit wide as he goes into turn 3, and so we go through turn 4, take all the curb on the right hand side without going all 4 wheels over the white line, or you will get a penalty. Exit of turn 4 there, you can use as much of the track on the left hand side as you wish. Turn 5 and then quickly into turn 6, keeping that car in second gear, trying to rotate it as quickly as we can. First gear is probably a little bit too low in terms of what gear you want to be in for that corner. And then going into this awesome hairpin here, turn 7, doing a good job so far. This chap in front of me, very quick in the Beetle. You can see I just got a bit loosey-goosey coming out the hairpin. I did lose some time, and this is where I really lost some time. Took too much to the curb, had to go half throttle as I went through the Schumacher S's there, and you can see that Beetle didn't have to do that. He didn't suffer from understeer as much as my Porsche did, and that really kind of messed my qualifying lap up, unfortunately, because I kind of lost the suck, which is what I needed. But as we go through turn 9, the curve there, he was a little bit slow. I didn't know whether I was still in range of the slipstream, but I think I was just out of it. Braking just before 100 metre ball, but it was way too late on the brakes, I think, and I really had to attack that curb, and you can see it compromised my exit on the exit of the chicane, and we lost a little bit of time. Last corner here before we get this race underway once until we get this qualifying session done and over with. Looks like we're going to cross the line here, and we are going to set ourselves a 154.9. My best was a 54.5 in practice, so only really 4 attempts off. It's not too shabby. And then by the end of the session, it's going to put us in 9th place. But we are the fastest 911. So we're the fastest Porsche in the lobby. So that's got to prove something, I guess. I would say, qualifying performance-wise, I don't think that was too bad. I think that was pretty good. I can be happy with that. And we'll crack on now, and we'll see what we can do in the race. Okay then, boys and girls, for this race we are going to have to look after our tyres, and we're going to have to look after the fuel as well. Not as much as the other boys and girls in this lobby. The Porsche is actually very good. Now this is the first entry, my only entry, so I wasn't too sure on how much fuel saving I would really have to do. But when we get this race underway, thankfully we do not start at the chicane, but you can just see the sea of Yeetles in front of you there as they're all weaving side to side to warm the tyres up, and I'm doing a bit of a Kimi Räikkönen on the straight before we go and attack turn 1. Not really clipping the apex, going wide. We've got those cold tyres on there. You can choose to start on either the mediums or the hards. I've decided to start on the mediums as Jono up ahead there just goes wide there. I'm surprised he didn't actually get a penalty for that. The corner counter penalties on this track are a little bit questionable sometimes, shall we say the least, especially coming out of turn 4 there. You really can run as wide as you please, but so far so good. Not a bad start. You can see the Spaniard in front of us in the Yeetle there, going a little bit wide as he went into turn 5, I believe. So just losing the rear end slightly and then going wide, but it's okay. He's still managed to get past Jono again. He's back up to P7. Jono goes for a little bit of a move into the hairpin. That compromises his line. He has to go to the left to avoid going into the back of the Spaniard. That leads us going side by side into the Schumacher S's, and somehow we're going to actually give each other enough respect to go through the Schumacher S's, and I'm actually going to get a move done going up the Schumacher S's, and to secure that I just have to make sure I brake later than he does, and I do, and I just managed to get my car in front of his nose, and that is us up into P8 with one hell of a move going through the Schumacher S's, if I do say so myself. That is very rare to get a move done through the Schumacher S's. It's almost unheard of going through there because it's literally just gravel on the right and to the left, so it's a scary thing to do, but we managed to get through it and we do gain ourselves a position. Going through the chicane then, on the first time on lap 1, just one corner to go until we start lap 2 and we go on the home straight. Looking good so far. We've made up one position, and we are now on the back of the Spaniard. We're in this kind of slipstream train here. Now I do have the advantage of not having to save as much fuel, or hardly anything really, compared to the others, so I didn't save fuel at all on that straight, and I moved to the right to see if the door was open, see if there was opportunity to get the move done going into the first corner, but afraid the Spaniard in front of me shut the door on me pretty immediately there, so I had nowhere to go. And then we got this awful lag spike there, not really sure what that was, so yeah, that was a bit scary. But we're literally tucked in behind the two Yeetles. I had a decision to go right or left. I decided to go left, and I believe this is to be a good decision because the Spaniard goes past the German, and then I follow suit. So that is us up to P7 now, which is absolutely awesome. But do bear in mind we are on the softer compound, okay? So we might be quick now, but we may suffer later on in the race. But this is where the Porsche might come in handy. Spaniard's gone really, really wide there, completely and utterly messing up his braking point. Porsche with the awesome traction managed to go through the hairpin, get the pound, and we're going to go side by side once again through the Schumacher S's, and we are going to get another move done. I've never done a move, I don't think, through the Schumacher S's, and we've managed to do 2 in 2 laps. In the opening 2 laps of this race, we managed to get 2 overtakes done in an absolutely ridiculous place to do it, and I am so pleased with those 2 overtakes. That is absolutely fantastic, because we've gotten past them now. That means we can get our head down and we can concentrate on catching the boys and girls up ahead. But it's not over yet, because we make sure we got defended from this Spaniard before we go past the chicane. So once again, braking for the 100-meter board, getting that car over the left-hand side. But you can see I lose the rear, lose lots of traction, but thankfully the Spaniard actually has nowhere to go at the point where I lose it, and he kind of just goes to the back of me and gives me a bit of a boost. However, that does mean he has the suck, he has the slipstream on the home straight as we start lap 3, first lap of a 56.9, I say first lap, second lap. I can see him, I am up on the radar, but I don't believe at this point in time he was close enough to go for a move, and he decides not to, as we get another little bit of a tap there, but we managed to keep that position. We're now up to P6, so 1 lap later we are catching up, and we have caught up with the boys and girls up ahead. Look to go side by side into chicane, hoping that the Frenchman here would think better of it and just back out of it, but he does not, and he defends like a champion. So we're going to have to see if we can get past him on the home straight going into turn 1. Got to make sure I have a good exit into first gear, surprisingly, on the last corner. But this Porsche, as I've mentioned before, absolutely fantastic tractions. First and second gear, it's so easy to drive, one of the best. And yeah, unfortunately, it just wasn't enough, as you could see on the straight. When everyone's in the slip, in the suck, and they're not saving fuel, I kind of get dropped and left behind, so couldn't get a move done there. So lap 5 then, going into the hairpin, just looking for an opportunity on the inside, see if there's any sniff of a move through the hairpin, but unfortunately there was none. And I've got to be careful, I've got to pick my moments here, because the Spaniard behind me is looking quick, the one we got past earlier, so he will try and get past me if he gets the opportunity. So we've got to be careful, we've got to pick our moments and overtake the Frenchman at a safe place, essentially. So wherever we overtake him, it can't be in a tremendous, not tremendous, but an area where, you know, we're going to drop back and it will give the Spaniard an opportunity to overtake us as well. So we've got to pick our moments, and I wonder if this is going to be our moment here going into the chicane. Again, looking for that 100-meter board, can't quite see it because the Yeetle is blocking my peripheral vision there, But unfortunately, yet again, the Frenchman defends that position and does a very good job of it indeed. So down to the first gear again, looking for that awesome exit. We managed to get a better exit this time. A little bit of oversteer there. You can see the rear kind of giving up on me, but the rear tyres are not in the best condition. We're 6 laps in. I think it's ×8 tyre wear. Anyways, look, he goes defensive. He knows I'm coming. Looking for the breaker point on the left-hand side as soon as the sand or the grass appears. A little bit of contact as he turns into me there, into turn 1, but we do get that move done. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of contact, but we do get it done eventually. So that's good to see, and we are now up to P5. So at the end of lap 6 then, going into chicane just before the 100-metre board. We're going to take this essentially too quickly and too much. We went over the curb, and that's going to give ourselves a half-second penalty. 4 wheels over the white line, and that's exactly what you are going to get. And the Frenchman behind us has gone into the pits. He was so quick, he was on the hards. He was actually on the hard tyres on that stint, so he was very quick. He was very, very quick indeed. So he is someone to look out for in this race. He has done fantastically well. But lap 7 then, 1 lap later, I have decided to go in the pits myself. Stanyon in front of us is on hard tyres as well, but I'm going to go and put those hard tyres on now. So we'll see what the boys can do here. I'm sure they'll absolutely smash it. Oh yeah, look at that stuff. Red Bull, eat your heart out. You wish you were as fast as the boys and girls at Porsche there. But we get out of the pits and we are actually in 6th place. So we're in P Steve here. Can we honour the man and finish in that position? So we go for the hairpin here on lap 9 through the Schumacher S's, but I just do not have the grip on these hard tyres. I go through there, get all sorts of out of shape, and unfortunately leaves the door open, and that means Boo Boo Racing is going to go for a move on the inside of turn 10. But we'll have to see if we get a good exit on turn 11 as he loses the rear, and we'll see if we can get that position back. Boo Boo, good time to point out here, he is actually on the medium tyres now. He's starting on the hards. He is on the mediums, and he is looking pacey, but we get really close again just before the 100-metre board. Going to go through the chicane here, and he is going to pop over there, and he's just going to touch the grass, and it's see you later, Boo Boo. Ah, that chap, I'm telling you, he's got a real problem for spinning out whenever he's in my videos. Honestly, he sent me a message afterwards. It always happens to him. Whenever he's in my videos, he always ends up spinning. But yeah, that has given us position back, and that is unfortunate for Boo Boo. He is out of the race, but don't forget the German. Don't count him out, because he is right behind us here. He's got the inside of turn 1, but I just about get my car in front of him there, and we managed to defend that position, and it's so hard to get a move done around the Mercedes arena, so we should be safe through here. Anyways, lap 10, going through the Schumacher S's once more. Am I going to make a mistake here? No, I am not, but I can still see that German behind me just sniffing, waiting for his opportunity at his home Grand Prix to see if he can take me, not take me out, but take my position. So he's eyeing me up here. You can see him on the radar. Just less than 2 temps now. He can literally smell what I had for breakfast. And he is so close. Decide to take the inside line. I just kind of keep my car in the middle of the track so I can decide where I want to defend. And we managed to keep that position there as we go for the chicane. And yeah, he gets a little bit too close, and he ends up dropping off a little bit, but not by much. He lost about 2 temps, but then he gained it straight back. So I do wonder if he is someone that is also on the medium tyres. I could have started on the hards and got mediums, but I just felt like I wanted to attack straight away, and I can see him again, so I've decided to go defensive straight away on the inside. I thought if I can defend for him from 2 laps, maybe I can defend for the rest of the race, and he tries to get the move done, but he just taps me as he turns into me there into the first corner, and that is just about enough for me to keep that position with a little bit more contact. And then turn 11, the Schumacher S's, which is actually turn 9. You can see I've made the same mistake again onto the gravel, and then we're going to go side by side into turn 10. He just has the better brake performance on those medium tyres, and he's going to get a move done around the outside of turn 10, but it's not over yet. If we can get a good exit in turn 11, maybe we can launch an attack going into the chicane. The gap is less than 4 temps. We do have the slipstream. It's now down to 3 temps. You can see me getting closer and closer and closer, but is it going to be enough? No. We're going to have to brake before that almighty 100-metre board. And as we go for chicane, oh, he's done it again. Not again. I say again. Wow, I've got confused. It's not Boo Boo Racing. It's the German this time. He's spanned this time, so it seems to be a curse. Anyone who overtakes me in this race is cursed. It's clear to see. If you overtake me, you will spin out, so don't do it. There's no point. Don't overtake me or you'll spin out. Brilliant. Oh, mega. Anyways, last lap of the race. You can see Lawrence is all over my bottom as such, my rear end of my Porsche, but I just park it on the apex in the middle of the chicane. Bit naughty, but I managed to defend that position because he had absolutely nowhere to go. So we get nice and close to the curb on the exit of turn 1, and that is going to be the end of this race, and that is going to be a P6, and I feel that is actually quite a good race. So P Steve, Super GT, I'm here for you, buddy. I have honoured your name here, and I finished in P Steve, so fingers crossed. I've done you proud there, sir, and fingers crossed I've done you guys proud who are watching. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. 260 points, and that is going to be the end of the Nations Cup for this series. It's going to be the end of the video. As always, if you did enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But I'll catch you later, and I'll see you for the next one. Take care. Ta-da.